everyone. It's me, the Enlightened One, your favorite cartoon friend. I'm gonna get off the old phony-wony and call my good friend, I don't even know what the hell his name is. Let's get the dialing music. Here we go.
You have reached the Magician's Assistant. If this is the Enlightened One, today's episode is...
The Wraith.
I would like to dedicate this episode to my good friend, Caleb Bain. I'm sorry for biting your face off.
So I've got two things, right? First off, is it me or is the Enlightened One getting a bit nice? Has he been very nice there? Is dedicating it to somebody? That's unlike him.
But he bit someone's face off, so I don't know. Like, is that good or bad?
I'll let the person decide, you know? Yeah, I'm kind of blown away with that. The Enlightened One's been very, very nice.
He is nice. We of course dedicate this episode to Caleb Bain. Hey, buddy, if you haven't seen it yet, rewind it, and we'll dedicate this episode to you, bud.
Of course. And another thing, do you know, we've played that intro for quite a few times, but we don't know enough about that lady, there, do we?
Yeah, so she is what we're dedicating this episode also to her, because we're going to tell her story. She is the Wraith, and we're going to tell how she came to be.
Did you say Wraith or Raise?
Wraith.
Wraith.
With the
okay.
TH.
Okay, gotcha.
Right, so she looks a lot like the Ring character.
So you're saying she's creepy?
Yes, she's a lot like the Ring character, that woman who crawls through your TV and
Oh dear. And it's Friday.
It's Friday, and I'm, of course, the patron saint of all of professional wrestling. I'm that gingered up paranormal son of a bitch. I'm Canada Dry, damn it.
Woo! And I am, of course, the Magician, and this is the only paranormal show made for wrestling fans by wrestling fans.
I'm a wrestling fan.
I'm a wrestling fan.
And this is the paranormalest show ever.
It is, of course. I mean, we've got a jam-packed show, as always.
Like what?
So we've got a jam-packed vault, so it's now, we might call it the Super Vault.
The Super Vault!
We're going to go flying with Canada Dry in the effing galaxy. I've got something creepy in the Magician's Corner.
And of course, we have the Wraith. We're going to find all about this woman at the start of our intro.
Of course.
And apparently, she is from your neck of the woods.
Yeah, I know, that's the creepy part.
So I'm safe from the Wraith. You are not.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I might not be on this next week's show.
Yeah, so the Wraith is coming after you.
Oh, dear. Right then. How's the week been, by the way? Have you had a good one?
It's been great. We've had some great wrestling. Not as good as last Dynamite, but it was still pretty good.
Yeah, I've not actually caught up this week, so obviously we don't get to watch it till the Friday. So once we're done here, I'm going to be watching it back.
Awesome.
So enough rambling on. Should we go and decide our little special thing we call the Vault?
Not the Vault, the Super Vault.
Boop.
It looks like it's time to open up the vault.
Do you know the combination? So I'm just wondering, is the password changed because this is now a Super Vault?
Well, what do you think the password is?
Well, the password was originally Bosco, but now it's Super Bosco.
Nah, it's just a Bosco.
Speaking of Caleb, look who's in the comments.
Hey, Caleb. If you watch the Enlightened one, did a dedication to you to start the show, and so this show is dedicated to you, bud. Thanks for watching.
Of course. Always Caleb. Pleasure for obviously stopping by. So, yeah, I mean, you said it's a jam-packed vault. So, what's in the vault?
I don't know. Let's find out. I'm gonna grab it. Hey, I found a rainbow. There's a rainbow in here.
Is there a rainbow in there?
I don't need the rainbow. Put that back. Hey, let's grab this.
Have we got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Boop. So obviously it kind of cuts us out from speaking. So yeah, this is obviously from Scarlett Bordeaux. Is that correct?
Yes, Scarlett Bordeaux. She thought she saw a UFO. Can you play it one more time just to see if we can point, if people can see it?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously we'll not be able to talk because obviously it'll cut our sound out. But here it is. So how do you describe that one?
Everyone thinks they see a UFO. Scarlett Bordeaux is convinced that she saw a UFO. You can see a little. It doesn't really translate well to the show here, right?
No, it's. But the thing is, do you think it is a UFO? Do you think it's something else? What's your thoughts on this?
You can see a little bit of a streaking sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Could it be a fallen satellite? Could it be? It could be an asteroid. It could be. It might be a UFO, but it just isn't very good video.
Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of torn with this one. I'm not too sure, but I mean, obviously, people watching the show, you can obviously make your own judgment on this one. Don't have to listen to it. They can make their own judgment, right?
Nama Burns says it's the smoke monster from Lost.
I've not seen Lost for years. That's a good thing, by the way.
That was a good reference. Good reference.
Oh,
Man in Black. We did some good episodes on the Man in Black.
Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, it's an interesting one. We can make his own.
Caleb, the world of Down syndrome.
Oh dear.
Welcome to the world. Maybe that's a podcast. Welcome to the world of Down syndrome.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It's such an odd thing. It's such an odd thing to say, but okay.
Of course. Is there anything else in the vault?
All right, let's see what we have. I got some fairy dust. Put that back. We don't need no fairy dust. Here we go. We got it.
What have we got fairy dust for? Okay.
Oh, this one is creepy.
Right, so we got a man walking. Where the hell is that man gone?
So he's walking, and then he just kind of disappears. You can kind of still see him.
Yeah.
And then from another camera.
Right, so he's still walking. Yeah, that's fine.
But you kind of still see him, right?
Yeah,
but
if you
faintly.
So he's walking like normal. Yep, that's fine. You can see it. Then he slowly vanishes. But if you look very, very carefully,
you can see this invisible thing moving.
Yeah, it's
like he's cloaked, like Star Trek.
That is weird. Right. I mean, that's an interesting one because it's like you see the guy vanishing, but then if you look very, very carefully, you can still see the shadow as it's walking by.
Yeah, is he just not have enough energy to maintain his form, maybe?
Possibly. I mean, shall we watch it again?
One more time.
Here he is.
He's walking along. Oh, no, my energy is fading. You know what? If he drank his dubby, he would not lose his form.
Of course. He needed the energy, right?
Yes.
But yeah, if you look very carefully, you can still see the faint thing as it vanishes.
And what I like about this is it's 2 different security cameras.
Yeah, so it's like from 2 different angles.
Yeah, which is very rare.
The only thing, have you noticed in the corner as well, like the camera gets very pixelated?
I think they're just blocking out a logo.
Yeah, possibly could be that.
And as you can see, I snuck our logo in there.
Even Nama Burns says you can still see a shape. Yeah, if you look very, very carefully, you can. So
I believe Nama Burns is the Gran Torino.
interesting. And guess who's obviously in the comments? As always, Noob.
It's Noob.
What's going on, Noob? Yeah, I mean, that's a really weird one because when you watch it, it's like you see it vanish, and then you have to look really, really carefully to realize it's still walking past.
So every time I reach in the vault, I find something different. I found a rainbow. I found some fairy dust.
Yeah.
We'll see what I can pull out now.
Okay, so what else we got?
Let's see.
Have we got it?
A lucky penny.
Ooh, a lucky penny.
A
Anything
lucky
else?
penny. I won't be needing that right now. Here we go. Let's do the video.
Book called the many hidden messages in water. It's mind blowing. I don't know if any of you have ever read it. Mind blowing. And Dr. Emoto, just one of the studies. You can even Google Dr. Emoto water studies. He took water from a water bottle, put it in a petri dish. Water from the same bottle, put it in another petri dish. Flash froze both of them. But on one of the petri dishes, he wrote positive words. On the other one, he wrote negative words. The one he wrote the positive words on turned into these beautiful snowflake-looking patterns. The ones he wrote negative words on turned into these gnarly-looking, ugly, matted-up patterns. Here's the question I asked at my training the last 2 days. As far as we know, can water read? No, not as far as we know. As far as we know, can water think? Well, not as far as we know. But yet, the words written on a container of water affect the molecular structure of the water. My body is 70% water. My brain is 90% water. And I can read, I can hear, and I can think. How could I possibly go through life and be so deceived as to think that words don't matter? That's why I don't use profanity. That's why I don't use negative talk. I don't do negative joke. I don't negative. Most people, most of the stuff they do is negative. The cultural hypnotic societal mechanism is programming you to be negative because it knows if it can make you negative, it can make you broke, and broke people are easier to control than people who are free.
Do you want to explain what we just watched?
Okay, so he's talking about this book called the Hidden Messages of Water.
Mm-hmm.
And so what they did was they had they had two petri dishes that they did a scientific experiment on, and on one of them they didn't say anything to it, but they wrote positive words and they wrote negative words. And so this is amazing that the one petri dish turned up with like beautiful snowflakes. The other one turned with gnarly, gross icicles.
Interesting. What do you reckon this comment from Nama Burn says? That's why the media exists.
Yeah, I think they're trying to control us with negativity. Like if you look at the news, it's very, very negative, all the negative things. But let's talk about this. If we speak power of life into each other, we're going to be successful.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're gonna bring healing and life to each other. And the other thing is that our brain is 90% water.
Yeah, that was an interesting fact. I'm like, really? So what's the other 10%?
So let's speak positive. You know what, Liam? I speak positivity to your brain. All good things to your brain.
Moral of the story: stay positive.
Stay positive. Absolutely. So positivity, just like the New Day says, the power of positivity, it's a real thing.
And that is true words, and that comes from Dr. I didn't quite get his name. Emoto. So, yeah, I mean,
what I also like is his passion.
Yeah, you can feel it, Joe, the way he obviously delivers that actual
thing.
He's
not just saying something that he believes it.
Yeah, and obviously as he was speaking, then I could just feel it, the way he was speaking, Yeah,
and lately every day I've been waking up and thanking God for this brand new day and being alive. And it's making a difference. Like I've had a bit of an injury and it's starting to turn a corner because I'm starting each new day with positive affirmation. Thank you, God, for this new day. Thank you that I have breath in my lungs today. And it's having positive effects on my life.
There you go. That's an amazing video. And have we got any more?
Yes, we have one more. just gonna reach in and a lucky horseshoe. That's good, right? Very
Wait.
positive stuff in the vault today. Let's get rid of that. Let's push the video.
Okay, so we've got a rocking chair that's just like normal at the moment.
So it's moving by itself, though.
Yeah.
And look at the window. There's something in the rocking chair.
Whoa.
Looks like a child. Go back to this. There's nothing there. Go back to the reflection in the window. I think you're going to go back to the reflection. Go back to the reflection, and you see something is sitting in the chair.
That is creepy. What the hell?
Yeah, that gives me shivers.
Yeah, mine too. I've got so much shiver down my back now. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, you always got the rocking chair. The rocking chair is a very creepy thing in the movies, right?
Oh yeah, definitely, especially in like horror movies as well.
Yeah, that image in that chair is creepy as hell.
Wow. I mean, it's when you just see the rocket chair, it's all right, but when you get the reflection from the actual TV, it's like, what the hell?
I think we have a comment from Nama Burns, aka Gran Torino,
which also says, "Yes, Canada Dry. Whenever I'm mad about things, I always try and find things to be grateful for." True. Kayla Bain, amen, brother. Lord, oh, I love that. And Naima Burns goes on to say, I think we've both said it best.
That one is spooky.
That is the creepiest one out of the lot. I mean, just give me shivers big time.
Yeah, the one where the guy's walking, it's just like more intriguing than scary, right?
Yeah, definitely. That's damn. Can we move on, please?
Now, before we move on, do you think this mask, like something paranormal always happens, the mask falls off?
Yeah.
Do you think the mask is going to fall during the show today?
I do, but I'm not so sure when.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's going to stay, but you think it's going to. So we'll have a little bet. I'll bet you a lucky penny.
Okay, there you go. Lucky penny it is. So I win a lucky penny if it falls. If not, you get the lucky penny yourself. How's that?
All right. So I want everyone to put their seats in the upright position. Put on your safety belts because we're going all the way around the effing galaxy.
And we're
I've got to ask, how's the training going, flying?
I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So if you could just say a few prayers for me as I'm flying this airplane, we'll probably be safer.
Imagine if the pilot said that. Oh my goodness.
That would be creepy as heck.
That would be funny as a joke, but not funny at the same time.
Imagine how many people start to panic though.
Yeah, so it'd be funny but scary.
Caleb said, "Who is ready for Rampage?"
I'm ready for Rampage.
Dear. So yeah, as always, this is the part of the show where we take a deep dive into the wrestling world. There's been deep. There's been absolutely loads going off. So
we're talking deep. This is as deep as I can go.
Now,
no, that's high.
There you go.
Taking a deep dive into the world of wrestling. That was my Ultimate Warrior there. All of a sudden.
Now, sadly, obviously, the wrestling world lost one of its own, so we need to be serious. We sadly lost superstar Billy Graham. I mean, I hate it when we lose people, but I know obviously he was ill and then stuff like that. But man, I mean, it's really sad, you know.
Without him, I'm not sure the world of wrestling looks how it looks today.
Yeah, I mean that's
because he had influence on Ric Flair, he had influence on Hulk Hogan, he had influence on like all sorts of guys. Like Hulk Hogan took a lot of his character from superstar Billy Graham.
Yeah, I mean the last time I read that, obviously I know he was ill, but Obviously, I saw the news yesterday. He's sadly no longer with us. And as always, as we say on the show many, many times, our thoughts and our prayers go obviously with the family and everybody affected.
And also, we always say when we lose someone, may God give you a rematch in heaven.
True.
Ding,
true.
ding, ding.
Love it. Absolutely love it. So we've got this sad news out of the way. So got some more talking points. Now, apparently, WWE has no top baby faces. You obviously mentioned this to me, and then when I sat and thought about it, I thought, actually, you're on point. I mean,
Well,
what do you think?
they got Cody. That's it. And Cody didn't win the big one.
No, he didn't. So it's like, what can we say? I mean,
well, the thing is, WWE has always had a top baby face.
Mm-hmm.
They had Hulk Hogan. They had The Rock. They had Stone Cold. They had Brett. They had Shawn. But who do they got now?
Just Cody. That's it.
Yeah, they had John Cena. Like who is in that top spot? Like, is Cody being groomed to take that spot, or?
I honestly cannot see Cody winning a title. I mean,
you don't think he's even going to win it?
No, I think the problem I've got is they had that moment to try and do it at WrestleMania, but to me, it just seems pointless now.
Yes, but if he wins it at next WrestleMania, isn't even a bigger win?
Yeah, but then are you dragging the storyline out? Really? Let's be honest.
Well, because now he has to fight his way back to Roman.
I don't know. I mean, I just cannot...
Like he has to win another Rumble to get another shot, right?
There you go. I mean,
or Money in the Bank, maybe. Who? Someone said Ricochet. Ricochet is like bottom tier, man.
That's like undercard of the undercard.
I am the undercard. Oh, that's the other
dear. Yeah, I mean, we shall definitely see. But I'm just saying this now. I don't see Cody winning the title. I'm going to be honest.
They're trying to make Roman Reigns a big face, but then it wasn't working.
Mm-hmm.
So they made him a heel, and they're running with it. So,
yeah, I mean, I don't really know what to say, to be honest. I mean, I just can't.
Let us know in the comments if you think Cody will win the WWE Championship. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, we shall definitely see on that one. But next up now, obviously, this past Wednesday on Dynamite, there's going to be another Anarchy Arena match between the Elite and BCC. I just want to say this. I cannot wait for this. I'm super excited for this match. What about you?
Yeah, I'm glad they're not going to be playing Wild Thing the whole time. That was a bit distracting. I did not enjoy and that music doesn't suit him anymore. He's not really coming out to it anymore though either.
No, it was good to start with, but then after that, it just gets really, really boring. You know what I mean?
It's a face song though as well, right? You can't be a heel and come out the Wild Thing.
No, it doesn't make sense at all. But I mean, obviously, we've seen a few of these matches now. Are we excited for this one in particular?
Yeah, I think this will be a good one. This story between BCC and the Elite is I like how it's building slowly, surely. This will be the first little part of it, just kind of like they did last year, and then it'll lead to Blood and Guts, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
We shall definitely see. So, as Caleb says, Seth Rollins deserves the win because he's not a championship. I love to see some watch Double or Nothing. I remember JS won over BCC. I choose. Sorry, I'm trying to debunk what Caleb said here.
So Joseph said Cody is going to win the belt.
I'm prove me wrong because I just cannot see it. I'll be honest.
I have a lot of people think that they're out to screw Cody because he left WWE to begin with.
Well, it seems that way at the minute. I mean, what have they done? They've obviously cost him a Mania in the most screwy finish ever. He basically got destroyed by obviously Brock Lesnar the night after. At the minute, it just seems like they're burying him. That's just my honest opinion.
But he's going to beat Brock Lesnar tomorrow, don't you think?
Oh, yeah. I think that's odds on, but we shall see.
What do we got next?
So I've got an update on obviously Drew McIntyre. Now
he's going to go to AEW. AEW confirmed, as Bryce would say, as Stu Pickle would say.
Now we've got no. So a certain Dave Meltzer, so take this with a pinch of salt, as we always say. Now he's gone on and said, at this point, McIntyre return is basically a more creative issue regarding what they want, what he wants, and what they agree to. So he's saying the option's still there to go back, but apparently it's money and it's creative. So we've been very critical, obviously, over the past couple of weeks, obviously, with the creative side of obviously WWE. I mean, what do you think of this?
Well, after his run as champion, he hasn't been booked very well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was a top guy, and then just kind of...
Yeah.
Like, you book him to beat Roman.
Yep.
And then it's just... it's like...
It just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I do kind of feel sorry for him because I feel like he's a good talent.
Yeah, and so I bet he's looking like he's like, I wish I was in AEW. I want to go to All In.
So, do you think he'll go back to WWE, or do you think, as you mentioned there, is it confirmed?
If they give him enough money and they give him the right storyline, I'm sure he will resign. It's money and story is what it's all about.
There you go. I think the key one there, you just said there, is money. So, I mean, I'd like to see him go to AEW. Do you know what I mean? A new, fresh start for him. I mean, just imagine the matches. Imagine the pop as well. Obviously, if he shows up at All In, that would be absolutely terrific.
Well, he can't, though, because his contract isn't over till after. And they're going to tack on time for injury as well. So it's going to be quite a while before his contract is actually over.
Yeah, that's kind of sad now when you put it that way. But Namer Burns says they used Drew to draw the UK crowd and threw it back on the shelf. Fair enough.
And then let's bring that up. Is they are now pushing, what's his name, Jinder Mahal and his tag team boys.
I can't remember the names.
It is what is their name, guys?
Now, international talent only gets showcased when they do shows in their areas, same cycles.
So Jinder Mahal and his boys are going to there's going to be a big show in India in September. So that's why they're getting the push now.
I think that kind of just links back to what you just said there, because it's like in their areas, it's like the same cycles. We started obviously with Selena Vega and stuff.
Yeah, so Veer is one of the guys as well.
There you go. But I don't know. I mean, it's weird, you know, when we WWE with the creative side. I mean, I've always been critical of it. I just don't get it sometimes.
I found that the speaking in Indian, Punjabi or Hindi was quite awkward. Unless you're like, if you're in India watching that, you're like, yeah, you're speaking, you know, like, but for the American crowd, it's just like, their presentation was very awkward.
Yeah, it's really weird. But I hate this idea of like, let's go to this show, but let's only show these characters because they're from this actual back. It's just stupid, man. Let's be honest.
With that being said, you know, Saraya is going to win the belt at All In.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'd like to see that. I mean, I just can imagine the crowd. I mean, it's already, I think last time I checked, like 60,000.
And she's got to pick up the belt. This is my house. Damn right it is, Saraya.
There you go. So now we've got one more story to obviously wrap up the news now. The thing what's been circling over the past, I think, is it 3 weeks, is AEW Collision?
AEW Collision. Now, I wasn't thinking they were going to do this kind of logo. I was thinking they're going to make it all like smashy.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, let me just take the banner off so we can see when it actually airs. And it is June 17th on Saturday, 8C Central. I don't know what time zone that is.
That's exciting. That's exciting. And look at the people. Obviously, Punk is going to be part of it, and they're talking about calling it the that's up for debate. I don't know if that's storyline to keep the surprise when the Punk finally comes out.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's a work.
Going to try and buy tickets for the New York show tomorrow. But you made a valid point, obviously, before we came on the air. You've got Thunder Rosa, who's obviously had issues with obviously AEW. Andrade is
Miro, who's been complaining that he didn't like the story, and you got Andrade, who's picking fights with Sammy Guevara.
Do you think because they're going to put everybody who's obviously had like some sort of issue just all in one brand?
Yeah, it's gonna be tough because are they gonna clash heads? And if they got a bad attitude, Punk is gonna call them out. You know he will.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Punk, bullshit. Well, we switched spots. What happened?
There you go. I'll put you back. There you go. Carry on.
It was like Friday the 13th. We switched bodies. I'm in the UK now, and you're in Canada.
Sorry, you were saying?
Yeah, CM Punk will definitely call them out if they're causing shit.
Now, New makes a valid point here. Says, I like this logo, but it has WCW Nitro vibes. Well, it's funny you say that because I managed to find a side-by-side image, and here it is.
Doesn't he look like such a douche?
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Let's see if we can do an Eric Bischoff impression.
Well, bro. No, I can't even do it.
No, just make a face. You're going to be on the show tonight.
Bro. No, that's Ridge Russo.
No, that's Russo. You get your WCW figures wrong.
Yeah, I do apologize. But yeah, I mean, if you put them side by side, you can see the color scheme. It definitely has got the Nitro vibes, but who knows? I mean,
is Eric going to say something?
It's odds on he's going to say something. It's Eric
I'm
Bischoff.
Curious to see what he should just take it as an honor like that. Like they're honoring the legacy that I helped build.
Yeah, I mean, the show should be the thumbnail for Sunday's show. I mean, they want that image for the Sunday show.
We'll think about it.
We'll think about it.
And of course, we're doing we won't talk about that right now.
No, we can do it. We've got a bit of time.
Okay, so on Sunday, we're going to draft Collision and Dynamite. So what we think that each roster should get. We're going to have me and Jeremy versus JFB and Joseph Graham. We'll see who can draft the better team.
Oh, yeah. And obviously on Saturday, we've got a very special episode because apparently the intern said we can't get 3 Bret Hart marks for the show. And, well, I said that's false because one is obviously my co-host.
I'm not a mark. What the hell are you talking about?
Blame the interns, not me.
I got my Heart Foundation shirt ready to go.
And, of course, the other 2 marks are, of course, Canada Dry and JFB. So we're all going to be on the show tomorrow talking about the highs and
the highs of Bret Hart.
The highs and the lows.
Come on, not the lows. We don't want to talk about the lows.
Be professional.
Okay, fine. Hate being professional.
Oh dear, and that's obviously tomorrow. So yeah, we've got a jam-packed week, and I cannot wait for it. So that wraps up the Galaxy news. So we've got one more thing before we get into our main show, and it's my little segment we call
Magician's Corner.
Should get like an actual corner, shouldn't I?
You get in the effing corner. Go. Little dunce cap on.
Oh dear. So
do I do that every episode? Do I do that voice every time?
Yes, you do.
I just have to do
it. So Canada Dry said to me this week, can we find something paranormal?
But now, the cool thing about that is you were already going to.
Yeah, so you kind of
like we were vibing.
It's weird, isn't it? Honestly.
Yeah, paranormal.
So, as many people know, obviously in the UK, a couple of weeks ago, it was obviously the King's coronation, right?
Aww.
So, and apparently, according to some people, they found somebody who shouldn't have been there, right? So, I've got an image to show you, and I'll let you be the judge. Are you ready? Here it is.
Is that the Grim Reaper?
That's what people believe.
Where is this?
So this is actually in the actual castle thing itself.
Show that again.
There you go.
That is Does that mean that the king is gonna die?
Who knows?
Wow.
No,
Now, if something happens to the king, you heard it here first. But
no.
hopefully the king is fine. Hopefully
Of
the
course,
king
of
is fine.
course. I'm just going to clarify it is fine. But the interesting thing is with this now, nobody noticed this actual person. If you want, these actually a clip online. I'll try and find it to put it in the description. But nobody noticed this actual person walking by,
That's creepy.
and this was at the obviously King's coronation, which was obviously a couple of weeks ago. What do you reckon to that? I did say creepy.
It is. It is. I'm lost for words.
Yeah, so am I. I mean, I just hope the King's okay. Don't behead me or anything, please.
Yeah.
Or
So
off.
we're just the messenger. We have nothing to do with that character.
There you go. There you go. That's yeah. I mean, we're already 30 odd minutes in. We've found some creepy stuff, right?
Yeah. So I think we can do our sponsor. Talk about our sponsor. Oh, let's see what these guys have to say.
What is the Olympic sport where they push the thing? That's plenty of sports. That just does not help us at all.
Olympic sleighing area.
Bobsled?
Bobsled.
Bobsled?
Hi, my name is Bob. I'm a sled.
And shuffleboard player or a sand calligrapher?
What? Let's move on.
Let's move. Right then. Oh, let me put that comment off because it's put back
Curling?
Up. There we go.
Curling.
Curling.
This
right then.
is like online. What do you call it? Charades. We're like, what movie? First word.
3 letters or 4 letters, whatever. So, yeah, before we get into our main event, we've got to say thank you to a special sponsor, right? It's, of course, Dubby.
Dobby.
No, Dubby, not Dobby.
Okay.
There's a difference. Now, you probably know more about this than I actually do.
Now, Dubby has no maltodextrin. It has no dyes. It has no sugar. It doesn't have all that extra stuff that you don't need. It comes in the chew form. It comes in the drink form. And if you go to the website, you order, you will get 10% off your whole order when you type in Effin' Wrestling at the end. So, yeah, buy yourself some Dubby. Help out the show. I'm going to buy some because I got to see what we're peddling here.
Yeah, I mean, I actually am as well. It's actually on my to-do list. I will probably might order some over the weekend. So I'm excited to see what this product's all about.
Yeah, and you always got to try what you're peddling.
There you go. And that's obviously at www.dubby.gg. Use the promo code Effin' Wrestling for 10% off your order. Right then, shall we get into where we're actually here?
Okay, I'm gonna hook up the Super Nintendo here and get this thing ready to go. Here we go. All right, let's go. Let's hook up. That's where my Bret Hart glasses went. I've been looking all over for those.
Yeah, they've been in the game all this time.
Yeah, it's just sitting beside the game next to the Kool-Aid.
There you go. Kool-Aid? Kool-Aid it is. Right then, so obviously today's Stars is we've called it the Wraith.
The Wraith.
What is with that picture? What the hell?
Yeah, so this is all about the woman who is in their intro every day. She gets our logo all ready, shines it up, puts it on the wall, and gets the show ready.
And the thing is, we've never spoke to her.
No, I think Light and One and her are good friends. They have tea.
I might actually have to ask him at the end of the show and see if he actually knows anything about her.
They have tea and crumpets.
Crumpets, you say?
Crumpets.
Okay.
What is a crumpet? Is that just a cookie?
No, it's like a... I don't even know. It's hard to explain what a crumpet is.
You always see tea and crumpets.
Tea and crumpets, they say. So yeah, and I don't
All
know
right.
anywhere.
All right, so let's get in to the Wraith. Now, if you played Halo, the woman is Dallas this whole time.
Please tell us nobody find out that one.
If someone could tag Dallas that Caleb is talking smack about him, so he can defend himself on the show, that would be great.
Yeah, Dallas, get in the comments now.
Yeah, you got to defend yourself. You can't let Caleb talk smack on you, saying you're the woman from the ring. Now, if you played Halo, have you played Halo before?
I have.
So the Wraith is like the spaceship thing that you can fly around.
Yep, that's correct.
So I don't know. Maybe they named it after this creature because it just flies so creepily along. But this all goes back to October 2015.
So it's not too long ago, then, is it?
No. And our main guy, his name is Reese. He invented the peanut butter cup. No, I'm just kidding. So this is in. Tell me if I'm saying this right. Telford, Shropshire.
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 Shrop.
Sharpshooter.
Shrop.
Hey, he's putting him in that sharpshooter. Shropshire. Anyways, it's 17,000 people there. It's a nice little industry town. It's one of the fastest growing cities in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
So one morning, it all starts with a nice cup of coffee. The story starts with a nice cup of coffee. And every morning, he has a cup of coffee, and he considers, because he has to bike to work every day, and every day he considers taking a cab. But every day he's like, I can't do it. I can't afford it. But the bike trip is a 5-mile bike trip, a 5-mile journey. So he's often on this day, particularly, it's rainy and it's cold.
Mm-hmm.
In October, is October in England pretty nasty?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
So it's nasty October. And so he's riding to work. But it's kind of peaceful. The rain is hitting his face, and he's kind of tuning out. There's no one on the streets. He's just vibing. He's got his headphones in, and he's just thinking about things. And as he's going, he has to turn onto a place. Where is it called? Trench Pool. Do you know this place?
I don't know the area. I know obviously Shropshire area, but I'm not too sure about the Trench Pool.
So Trench Pool is like a man-made balancing lake, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And so part of his journey takes him along this gravel path, and there's no lights there. On one side, it's all bushes. On the other side, it's all lake. And luckily, though, he has bike lights on the front for his headlights for his bike. And so it kind of lights everything up. And so he can see pretty far along the trail. As he's going, all of a sudden, he sees this woman that looks like the woman from The Ring. Show the picture again.
2 seconds. There we go.
This is what he sees right in front of him.
How creepy would that look?
And so all of a sudden, time slows down. Have you ever had that, Liam? Where things just kind of go in slow motion?
It's more like a feeling. It just feels like the time just stopped. You just feel like in a constant zoned out.
I remember this time in grade 5. This kid was arguing with the teacher.
Mm-hmm.
and he took off his shoe and threw it at the teacher. And I swear that shoe was going in slow motion. Just missed the teacher's head. But it felt like it was going in slow motion. We were just like, this is what it felt like for Reese. He had enough to study the woman, and he's able to just veer to the left, missing the woman who's dressed like the woman from the ring, and he just misses her by an inch.
Wow.
So he slams on the brake, and he was going to get ready to yell at her or say sorry or something. But as he turns his head, no one is there. So there's also some thick brush there, and there's water. So this woman's not jumping in the water. This woman's not all of a sudden jumping in this thick brush.
Right.
She's just disappeared. And his heart is racing. It's thumping. He has asthma. So he begins to inhale his thing, and he's getting his breath again.
Asthma bump.
Yeah, and his hairs on his arm are standing on end. And he starts heading back to work, or heading to work at the manufacturing plant where he works. And he doesn't want to look back because he's afraid of what he will see. Because he's certain he just saw a ghost. And with that, I'm going to make the tag to you.
Thank you very much. So, obviously, as he got to work, he obviously spent a lot of time. It's like silent. He didn't speak to anybody. He didn't engage with anybody. It was more in like disbelief. That was probably, the correct term. Now, this like sudden change in obviously his posture and stuff like that. Colleagues obviously began to take notice. Now, they tried to obviously get him to obviously speak, but he was just not having none of it. Now,
yeah, and you don't want to talk to them because the story that you're dealing with is going to make you look crazy.
Oh, absolutely it is. So, obviously, he finished his shift as normal. Now, instead of going back down the actual route he's just come from, where this, let's say, altercation, that's probably the correct terminology, he took a different path. I mean, I think I would as well. Would you?
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
Now, he tried to obviously avoid everything, and it was still playing on his mind. It still does. So, now, a week later, obviously, it felt like he was being watched. So, I'll explain what I mean in a second. So, around 10 p.m. that night, he obviously went to his local shop. Typical guy wants to buy a few beers or drink or alcohol, whatever you want.
You just want to let down your hair a bit and enjoy a couple brews.
Exactly, and stuff like that. And his mind was obviously on games, obviously you get like typical guy stuff, yeah? Now, as he was walking, obviously there was no cars, there was no thing. It was just basically dead-end streets. It was described as he heard high-heel shoes from nowhere echoed behind him.
Now, you would think there's some girl or something behind you, but then you learn to turn around and there's nothing there. Like that would be creepy.
Well, it's funny you say that. So as he obviously is walking, the high heel things got faster and louder. So they were gaining pace towards him. Now, being a gentleman he is, he decided to stop. Because the road was so narrow, he moved to one side and let the person, walk by. I mean, I think gentleman, right? But as he turned round, the path was empty, which is what you've just mentioned there.
Yeah, that would send shivers down my spine. Especially with what he just experienced like the couple days before.
Of course. Now, similar events still obviously happen. Now, he obviously did suffer from what we call it as sleep paralysis. Now, the reason for that was we've obviously spoke about this before. Like, he had the presence of though it was being watched. That's his exact presence. Now, other occasions, obviously, of unshakable feeling, like somebody was so close to him, like actually where they wanted to whisper to him. That's how he actually felt. So that's never.
Yeah, like he felt something was a hand was on his shoulder as well.
Yeah, so that's like someone wanted to whisper to him. Now, after all these altercations, Reese began to losing his mind. It was like, is something going wrong? Is my mind playing tricks on me? Now, obviously, October 2015, obviously the weather started to change, so the sun began to rise. And things started to go back to normal, as the saying goes. So there was no... It felt like he could, like, breathe again. That's probably the correct terminology. However, the story suddenly came out of other people witnessing this same thing. For example, now, fishermen obviously witnessed this exact same thing, what was described as faceless figures in this specific area, footsteps, and what was described as a gutter growl, all from this area.
A gutter growl. Oh.
Yeah. Check the quick comments while I'm feeling you. Mr. Isaac is actually in the comments. What's going on, Mr. Isaac?
Good evening, gentlemen. That was my Jeremy impression.
Yeah, I'd be impressed with that. Now, apparently, the backstory was in 2017. Apparently, an altercation between a group of teenagers, where apparently one of them suspectively had drowned. So, this is what people believe, like, caused some sort of, like, ghosts and stuff.
So it could be more than one wraith. There could be more. There could be a few of them.
Yeah, absolutely. So, other stories broke out of drunk people, because where the actual thing was, there's like a pub at the side, like an actual road. So, drunk people, like, coming out, falling obviously into the river. Traffic car accidents where the cars actually got into the river. And apparently, and I don't know how true this is, 18-year-old obviously body was also found. So there's so many things what's happened there that you don't actually know really what it could actually be. There could be more than one, as you said there.
So it's created this negative energy that's creating these creatures or paranormal ghosts.
Exactly. So the one last thing I'll finish off with is, before we get into our theory part, is 2 years later, he now obviously cycles back through this road. Now the trench pool, but there's no signs of ghosts. There's no... It's like everything's like lifted. So...
You know why?
Okay.
She's got a job working on wrestling with the paranormal. she's got something to do now. She's got a purpose.
And so, yeah, I mean, I think there's more... I honestly do think there's more than one thing, in this area.
Yeah, and maybe she found him attractive. She wanted to... I know this guy's good looking, mate.
So
Boy, hell, he's good looking. He's fit.
He's a nice guy. Nice guy. Yeah. So, but the interesting thing is, when I obviously read this story, is obviously she was seen. So, did she feel like attached, to this actual person because you've actually seen him?
Yeah, I wonder if like fear plays into it too, where possibly the energy that you give off from the fear powers them up, because fear is a powerful energy.
It is. I mean, and that's the key thing there. Obviously, fear. I mean, we've all got fears.
So, like, if she's able to feed off this, why not get more from the one you're getting food from?
There you go. Do you think there's more than one, though?
I think there is. But I think, like, there's a few people that died, and there's a lot of negative energy from this trench pool that maybe they can be hosts on other paranormal shows. We can get them in the employment line.
Yeah, but what do you reckon to that, though? Obviously, now 2 years have passed, that it's actually gone back to normal.
I think it's just, maybe she said the message that she needed to say. Maybe she whispered what she needed to say, and maybe she moved on to someone else.
I thought obviously, that she was crying out for help, so to speak, to pass along to the next world.
Yeah, that's possible too. But like you get things like the gutter growl and all that stuff. It seems like it's more than a ghost and more something demonic, maybe.
Yeah, do you think it's like a ghost playing off a people's emotions? Because that's also
like the fact that she looks. Oh, we flip-flopped again. Flip-flopping.
Okay, yep.
I'm in the UK, mate. Yeah, I think this is it's just a lot of energy around this place from a lot of negative events. And like you think, if all these people are dying there, a lot of people are going to bring their sorrow there as well. This is where my friend died. This is where my kid died.
So a lot of sadness, you mean?
Yeah.
It's definitely an interesting story, but yeah, I mean, I honestly think there's more than one entity there.
Oh, I agree with that.
Or is it one obviously playing on people's emotions and all combined? But I don't think that's possible. I think it's
could the Wraith just be the team captain? We'll work with different shifts. You got this from here to here, and I got this one.
Dear. But yeah, I mean, it's just the thought, obviously, that ghost follow him. That's why I thought that when she's obviously being seen, she feels attached in a way, crying out for help.
But we're not theories here. If ghosts don't usually follow people home, but they're kind of stuck in a certain area.
Okay, so what? But
I think it could possibly be demons that follow people home.
Interesting. So do you think this is more of a demon type thing then?
Possibly, especially if people are doing witchcraft there.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's so much sadness there.
We talked about why I will never do a ghost hunt because I don't want any attachments following me home. So this could possibly be what happened to him.
Yeah, I mean, that is a possibility. I mean, I didn't actually think about that one, so that's quite interesting. Final thoughts on this? I mean, what do you reckon?
I think we need to get into something we call knowledge is power.
What do kids learn from that one? I mean, let's be honest.
Well, I've got a really good one.
Okay, I'll let you go first.
Okay, so you wake up in the morning, you have your coffee, maybe chill out, watch the news, maybe watch a little wrestling, maybe enjoy yourself. Call a taxi. Don't be a freaking cheapskate. And, enjoy your time at work and don't have to be haunted by a ghost for a freaking year. Don't be a cheapskate, kids.
Yeah, I mean, to kind of piggyback off what kind of Dry said, right? If you're obviously after work, obviously, and it's miles away and stuff like that, and you think, should I cycle there or should I drive or get a taxi there? Rule number one, right, is don't get a bike. Do you know what I mean? Because you could go down a path, you could be just riding down like a normal person, and something like a nice woman, obviously in a black clothing, could just appear there, and then before you know it,
woman.
who knows? It might be disguised. Who knows? But then she could play tricks on you. Then she'll follow you home. She'll follow you for some beers and stuff like that.
She'll steal your Reese's peanut butter cups.
There you go. And so yeah, to kind of figure out what kind of Dry said, taxi always. At least always taxi, and that is our knowledge is power. You're just nodding. Yeah.
I didn't see it this time. It didn't show up on my screen.
Oh, okay. Never mind. This has been a fun one. I've enjoyed that today.
This is how the Reese's peanut butter cups were created.
And this is now you know the whole story behind the woman in the intro.
Yes, and how she created the Reese's peanut butter cups. No, Reese's peanut butter cups have nothing to do with this. They're not a sponsor. Screw them.
So, should we do all our outro then, shall we?
Yes. So, if you would like to go to our website, check out fnwrestling.com. If you would like to join our Facebook group, All F and Wrestling Community, we are growing. We've got a lot of great stories there. Check it out in the bottom. And of course, when you're watching the show, you do a little thing called like and subscribe. It's called like. Just hit it right now. And hit the bell too.
Ding, ding.
And if you like t-shirts, why don't you go to fnwrestling.com and buy yourself ay caramba. Buy yourself an All F and Wrestling shirt that Natalia Markova is wearing, or you can buy the Owen Hart tribute shirt. You can buy the Magic of Wrestling shirt. We got loads of shirts that you can buy.
So many designs.
So many. And of course, if you like old school wrestling, you can visit prowrestlingtees.com/Adrian Adonis. And he's giving you the middle finger if you're not buying it. And of course, he's going to be on Dark Side of the Ring this season. I'm excited for that episode.
Oh, of course I am. It's going to be nice to learn a bit more, obviously, about Adrian Adonis. I'm really excited for that one. So, yeah, that's anything else to add, or have we covered pretty much all the bases?
Yeah, so what we talked about tomorrow on Magic of Wrestling, we're going to do the highs and the lows of Bret Hart because I'm going to be professional.
Yes, we've got 3 Bret Marks. Obviously, one of them's this guy right here. The other one's my co-host, and the other one is actually it's your co-host, right?
Would you like to accept Bret Hart in your heart today?
Maybe by the end of tomorrow's episode, you might convince me.
Maybe we can have an altar call, and you can accept Bret Hart into your heart.
Of course. So,
there's a heart and a heart action right there.
Oh, I love that. So
heart
yeah,
and
man.
Heart action, yes. And of course, on Sunday, we are drafting our Dynamite and Collision. We got a mishmash of people on the show, and it's gonna be a lot of fun drafting. We always have fun on the draft episodes.
Of course. So, on behalf of me, the magician, any final words from Canada? I
don't know where the hell my ring is, but remember to just keep fighting!
So I've got a question. Are you big friends with the Wraith?
We are good friends. We have tea and crumpets every Thursday.
All right, okay.
She's very busy. Of course, she's getting ready for Wrestling Paranormal, just like I am. Thank you for keeping us employed, even though we're paranormal creatures. We need jobs too. We need to earn and provide for our families.
But you also provide so much for the show. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, we do. We'd love to maybe. She's very thankful that she's featured now. She's not just a nameless, faceless ghoul, as they say, ghoul of the week.
Yeah, she's a nice person. I'd love to get her on the show one day, but you never know.
Yeah, she doesn't. She only does intros, just like me. I do intros and outros. That's it.